Welcome to The Sound, KQAL FM's weekly behind-the-scenes look at Midwestern-made music. From writing and recording to distribution and promotion, The Sound is your source for new releases and exclusive interviews from Midwestern artists. Support for The Sound is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Rolling.
I'm not the one who will tell you.
Tonight on The Sound, we bring you the debut album by Ryan Howe, titled Origin. A Winona State alumni based out of Crescent, Minnesota, Ryan Howe is a local favorite of ours here at the station and beyond. This album is full of heartfelt love ballads and gripping instrumentals. The singer-songwriter started playing the piano some 25 years ago and can be found playing at venues all across the Driftless and in an Emmy Award-winning documentary. Tonight, we had the chance to talk with Ryan about the album and the stories behind it. I'm Annika Bakkum-Ekern, saying get up, get down, and get ready for Ryan Howe, Origin, tonight on The Sound.
Love is more than the princessy treatment that will eventually cave. It's a balancing act on the tightrope of life, only a hair strand wide before you're over the line. I catch my breath before plunging down into the ice cold waters of feeling down, feeling down. You never mean her harm, but you're never in the right when you tell a friend who cares about your grief with the other side. Who do you tell when worst goes to worst and try to bottle it all up? But I'm gonna burst. Confusion abounds inside my brain, and I apologize 'cause sometimes I can't refrain from feeling like I need to feel like I could say what I needed to say when I needed to. But all things have their plans. I'm trying to find the borderline. The very next day we can't talk, even though we want to. We don't walk the walk. I wanna keep my friends and their lives intact, but every time I fail, I'm under attack. Confusion abounds inside my brain, and I apologize 'cause sometimes I can't refrain from feeling like I need to feel like I could say what I needed to say when I needed to. But all things have their place. I'm trying to find the borderline. Sometimes I feel this isn't real.
That was Borderline, the first track from the album Origin. And that's the latest album by Winona State alumni Ryan Howe. And tonight, we have Ryan in the studio. How are you doing?
I'm excellent, Annika. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Splendid. And this is not your first time on air with us, is that correct?
It is not the first time. First time was in 2017. Did an interview with Bill down at Blooming Grounds.
Oh, yeah. We are glad to have you back. Your album cover features a picture of a very young Ryan. How did you come to make that specific album cover?
I wanted younger Ryan to be visible on the album cover, partially due to the fact that a lot of these songs are written from a younger time in my life, particularly I believe it's the 8th track, Where Am I, Walking in My Sleep, is currently, at the time of this interview, 15 years old, which is insane to say out loud. But younger Ryan, we all have our inner child deeply present within us through how we behave and interact with everyone around us in the world. So I needed to pay homage to him because he is me, although he's a different part of me. And it's just honoring my roots of the fusion of genres like classical piano and symphonic orchestra pieces like Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and classical piano pieces like Clair de Lune, for example. But then fusing that with things like James Taylor, ABBA, Enya. There was even a little bit of George Michael when I was a little kid too.
And speaking of one of your songs being 15 years old that made it onto this album, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing piano for nearly 25 years. I started lessons when I was 6, so essentially 24 and change. I've been playing guitar for 15 years, and I was an autistic child, so I could not speak properly until I was 3 years old, and I literally sang or hummed my way through most of my existence as a child.
How many instruments do you play?
Primarily, piano is the home base. I've been playing that the longest, as I mentioned. Acoustic guitar, electric guitar. I started taking percussion lessons and joined a concert band in middle school. So then the whole world of percussion instruments, playing drum set, even playing bass, got that came onto my radar. And I deeply enjoy playing all the typical instruments in most pop or rock bands. And piano, being a keyboard instrument, of course, doesn't include such things as Hammond organ, synthesizer, Hohner clavinets, like the sound of Stevie Wonder's Superstition, the clav. Those are all, to me, different instruments, but they have the same parent interface of the piano, because that's what their derivative is now. There's also accordion, which I do a little bit of. Ukulele. I would love to learn other folk instruments such as a cittern or a Irish bouzouki. That's the other one. That's the other one that is very much of appeal, especially because idols of mine such as Jacob Collier love to play that instrument.
You said that as a little kid, you used to hum your way through life. What do you think was the inspiration that began your musical journey? Like, did someone sit you down at a piano and say, this is what you will do? Did you find it on your own?
When I was about 5, my dad's mom, my Nana Howe, began to recognize that upon playing a piano or a keyboard I was given as a birthday present, I was able to do certain things on it. Now, I don't remember these things that I was able to play exactly, but she recognized, or at least thought of the idea, this kid needs to have piano lessons. So a year later, I started, and this was all happening at the same time as growing up, going to the Roncalli Newman Center in La Crosse, a Catholic parish. I was listening to the fantastic music director and pianist resident there at the time, Mary Ellen Haupert, play just wonderful piano music through the masses, and I was very, very much inspired by that. I would come home, though, with no formal training and be able to, with some warts and flubs and mistakes, essentially recite what I'd heard just from hearing it the one time. And that skill amplified with my ear as I began to take more and more piano lessons through elementary school and beyond.
I think we should all thank your Nana for putting you in front of that piano listening to this album. And we're going to put on another track from this album. This is Wanna Love You from Ryan Howe's latest album, Origin, here on 89.5 KQAL.
You saw me looking and I didn't mean to stare, but I really wanna know your name. And girl, my heart starts racing and I can't even compare how your beauty, girl, it takes a hold of me. Like the way you grab my hand, how you dance into this jam, and that body, girl, it is like wine. And I know that you were with your friends, but I'ma be a gentleman. But tonight, girl, I'm gonna make you mine. Tonight, we can get away from the spotlight, just me and you. We can get lost in the moonrise. I just wanna love you, baby. 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 Now, girl, I know you must be wondering, and I trust the way I feel, and I really wanna see you smile. My spirit starts climbing, it's so genuine and real when you're grooving with yourself and loving life. Turn around and start again. You make me feel so foolish when you're giving me that wink of your eye. My smile's breaking past my ears, all my being's present here. So tonight, just do your thing, baby. It makes me high tonight. We can get away from the spotlight, just me and you. We can get lost
That was the song Wanna Love You from Ryan Howe's latest album, Origin, here on 89.5 KQAL. What was the inspiration of this song and where did it come from?
Wanna Love You is a collaboration. I did not start the song. It was started by a good buddy of mine who's a fellow Winona State alumnus named Chris Adams, and he can be found at NU_music with a K on Instagram and Spotify. That's his artist name. He's got great music out of his own accord. Now, this was an idea, though, that he started and didn't finish, and I asked him if it would be okay to finish this song because I recognized, on my end at least, I recognized immense potential for the development of that song. It was just a sultry, groovy kind of neo-soul R&B sort of thing that it started out with just a verse and a chorus, the first verse, first chorus. And so then we just needed a second verse, possibly a bridge. There didn't end up being a bridge. And when I recorded this song, I had the name Jacob Collier is going to come up quite a bit with the inspiration and production for Origin. There is a lovely, I'd like to say, maximalism to the recordings for me, in that Wanna Love You starts with a strong keyboard part with particular voicings, and those voicings were influenced by my jazz education that I was also receiving alongside my classical piano major studies at Winona State here. Yeah, like the lyrics really speak for themselves in that, the second verse, for example, I know you must be wondering, but I trust the way I feel, and I really just want to see you smile. It speaks to someone trying to make someone fully comfortable so that they can, in other words, just groove their way through their life as their authentic self. And in the case of this song, party, mm-hmm. I would say.
Do your songs tend to be true stories?
They are true in the respect that, coming from my own life experience, there's a narrative in the song, and there's a bit of lensing that occurs when you edit lyrics to make the song as relatable as possible for as many listeners as possible. But ultimately, it's still very much I think I actually, in terms of this song, it feels like what I would hope someone else can do for their someone.
Totally. Are your songs like a 50-50? Like, have you ever written some that are truly just fantasy and not rooted in truth? Or do they tend to be more real experiences that you make palatable?
Yeah, it can be a blend of those things. It can either be one or the other, or a blend, I'd say. Any of those three options. You
have at least one song on this album that is purely instrumental. How do you find the inspiration for those pieces?
Those pieces definitely get inspiration from my classical music background, whether it be symphonic, orchestral, or piano. In reference to what I think you're referencing at it being It Took Hell to Heal, which is the second track, right after Borderline, the first three songs of the album are meant to be, in my eyes, they feel like three movements of a sonata, and a sonata, being a classical form of music, has three movements, which are all, they're connected, but they are independent. I tried to blend those first three songs in a much more streamlined fashion so that there's no break from one to the other. In, for example, classical symphonies, there is a clear ending and a clear beginning with silence in between. There is no silence in between the end of Borderline and the beginning of It Took Hell to Heal, and the end of It Took Hell to Heal and the beginning of Wanna Love You.
Having listened to your album several times, that explanation makes that make more sense, because every time I listened to it, I thought it goes from one song to the next in those first three. So that does make a lot of sense. You accomplished your goal very well.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to move on to the next song here, and that's Old Soul from Ryan Howe's latest album, Origin, here on 89.5 KQAL.
yourself free from your chains and dance with me. Just bring it on out. Oh, give me that old soul tonight. Give me that good old soul. That good old soul. Give me that old soul tonight. Give me that good old soul. That good old soul. Give me. You worry your mind into insanity, but you shine over there with your beauty. You're socially prepared, but sometimes you become ensnared with trying to please everyone. Don't bother wasting your time, baby. It can't be done. Oh, give me that old soul tonight. Give me that good old soul. That good old soul. Give me that old soul tonight. Give me that good old soul. That good old soul. I feel so happy that you're mine. So happy that I'm here with space to breathe this time. You're building me up as the man that I am. Not keeping score, you don't need to, baby, 'cause you're so seen it all before. You know you got it in you, that's why I love you, baby. So break down your insecurities and open up your possibilities. Breathe in the sand, breathe in the sand. Breathe in the scent of the flower of life. Oh, give me that old soul tonight. Give me that good old soul. That good old soul. Give me that old soul tonight. Give me that good old soul. That good old soul. Give me that.
That was the song Old Soul from Ryan Howe's latest album, Origin. This is another great tune, and you have a very clear sound throughout your whole album. How do you go about writing? What comes first? Do you tend to go lyrics, melody? Is it different each song? What's your process like?
Very chaotic. My process can be varied in terms of how songs are produced. Yeah, it's funny. The chaos, I embrace it. In that Old Soul, all of the songs on this album were conceived in different ways. From my chaotic and wildly diverse mix of ways that songs can be conceived or written in my brain, Old Soul simply came from jamming with my good buddy Nick Boobin, another Winona State alumnus who's a great saxophone player, plays in groups such as Sugar Lads, the Lavender Project, and he's even worked with New Salty Dog from Duluth, excellent funk band. Old Soul, I was jamming on this old keyboard of mine. It's called a Korg Chrome. And the Korg Chrome has a drum. It's a keyboard workstation, meaning it can create all manner of sounds, including drums and percussion. And there are drum loops that you can play along with for home practice or live performance. I found one I liked. It's Pop 3. Anyway, I was jamming along to Pop 3 with this soul chord progression that my buddy Nick showed me one time when we were still back in school. I think it's about 2016. And I was taking this progression, jamming along with the drum beat, and that's where the song really started. Just a funky, uplifting, soulful vibe. And then lyrically, the music for this came first. Now, the chorus, give me that old soul tonight. It's easy to come up with that. Give me that good old soul. And I'm singing that in the old key as opposed to that good old soul, G major as opposed to F major. It was originally F major, but that was a little low for my voice. I decided to move it up a whole step. G major feels a bit brighter than F major to me, which parlays into synesthesia, feeling music as colors. G major feels a bit like blue sky, like sunny blue sky to me. Old soul is simply just the well-wishing of someone towards their partner to just break out of their shell, be loose, have fun, and let me see that beautiful old soul of yours. Don't be afraid in this new world to just be yourself. And I think that message, it may have been self-therapizing. It also may have been, or it definitely was, just a genuine wish for everyone to truly feel comfortable wherever they are, no matter what they're doing, to just be themselves.
Mm-hmm. And we've touched a couple songs talking about this one song, so I'm going to ask you the hardest question ever. What is your favorite song on this album?
My favorite song on the album probably is Old Soul. Mm-hmm. Old Soul goes to some wild harmonic places in the bridge section. In the key of G major, which Old Soul is in, the bridge is kind of hovering on a D pedal point for a while, where it seems like the song wants to go somewhere, and it's trying it. I almost crafted the harmony trying to make it seem as though the song is figuring out what it wants to do in real time. There must be many, many ideas because my mind is expelling more musical ideas than as human bodies exhale, than we expel carbon dioxide. Mm-hmm. It's a thing to live with, to be sure.
You have given us a wonderful insight into your chaotic writing process, for sure. And you also gave me the best segue in the world, because we're going to move on from Old Soul to Down to Earth, Out of Eden, from Ryan Howe's latest album, Origin, here on 89.5 KQAL.
Hello?
You answered.
What do you want? I really can't talk right now.
Listen, please. You don't have to say anything.
There's nothing left to say, okay? You can't change what happened, and I can't forget. Goodbye.
Wait, please. You have to hear me out. We can work through this.
I don't have to do anything. You're like a broken record that I can't stop, and your voicemails and your text and your notes. I need to move on.
I understand how you feel right now. Please, just let me say this.
I know I've done you wrong, dear. It's as plain as the day. I didn't love you true, dear. I've gone and lost my way. The hurt still lingers and the healing is so slow. I can't mend your wounds, but I still want you to know you haven't seen my true self. I know I've made mistakes. Even though the bridge is burning, I'll still do whatever it takes. And then I fall down to earth below. My wings have failed me. I flew right past the sun. I've been banned from the end of your sweet embrace. What have I done? I know I wanna fix this and move past my betrayal. I'd give you this whole world if I weren't afraid to fail. It won't be easy if all we do is run and hide. This thing will never work unless I get you on my side. peaceful sound. Hear me out just one more time and know that I mean well. We don't know what we could be, 'cause only time will tell. I'm falling down to earth below. My wings have filled me, I flew right past the sun. I've been banned from needing of your sweet embrace. What have I done? What have I done? I've been banned from needing of your sweet embrace. What have I done? What have I done?
That was the song Down to Earth Out of Eden from Ryan Howe's debut album, Origin. How do you record? Do you play it live and track it out piece by piece? Or how exactly do you go about producing your own album?
Yeah, it's a great question. This album was largely produced at Carpet Booth Studios in Rochester, where another Winona State alumnus, there's so many Winona State people that I interact with, and I'm proud to be a warrior, interact with so many other Winona State warriors. Zach Zern at Carpet Booth Studios was a tremendous, he's a good friend of mine, a tremendous engineer, a great person to work with. Now at Carpet Booth, there was a demo, like we would put together what's called a scratch recording, and I would essentially play the song on the instrument that in a solo version or iteration of that song, or arrangement of that song, I should say, I would perform it. And from there, we would begin to then contemplate realizing this is a solo version or an initial version. How do we get to a more full band sounding orchestrated arrangement? Down to Earth, in its inception, was a set of lyrics written by my cousin Jonathan Howe. Now, he asked me to help him put set music to those lyrics, and I worked with him to craft the melody. I mostly did the chord changes, and it was a collaborative process to write the melody, and I sort of played lyrical quality control on that song and injected some lines, but the lyrics, mostly him, and that song is still more so his baby than mine. This song actually began to take on a bit of a musical theater note. In the beginning of this song, there's a phone call, which was very fun to produce, working with my good buddy and fellow Winona State Warrior alumnus Zach Zern over at Carpet Booth Studios, which is just south of Rochester on Highway 52. The phone call that occurs is between two jilted lovers. Something has gone wrong. This was a set of lyrics, and the story that my cousin Jonathan created was not born out of personal experience. It was, I guess, a fictional narrative that, while fictional, still has umpteen, bajillions of real life qualities that people can relate to. I wanted to create a narrative that was as real and vivid as possible. And the inspiration for a phone call at the beginning of the recording actually comes from, for me, Hunter Hayes' I Want Crazy music video all the way back in 2013. For those of you listening, Annika looks surprised because I don't normally have inspiration from country music, but Hunter Hayes' first album is one of my absolute favorite records. He played almost all the instruments, wrote almost all the music, all the lyrics. That guy's tremendously talented. His song I Want Crazy from his first double album, and there is a phone call between two people in a relationship, clearly. That idea just seemed really, really cool to me. And I had to do that in my own song. It is ultimately a bit of a bummer in some ways, but if it's going to be a bummer, it might as well be beautiful. So I tried to do that with huge, lush background, like vocal harmonies, there's 12-string guitar, acoustic 12-string, acoustic 6-string, there's electric. I mean, it's a symphony. And my songs on this album were very much, I was thinking about it like a symphony orchestra, because there is a lot going on, but I try to make it all make sense and feel as though there's not too much going on, even though there's a ton of subtleties.
Mm-hmm. I think you succeeded in making this a beautiful bummer. And we're going to switch from what I would argue is one beautiful bummer to another. And this is the next track from Ryan Howe's debut album, Too Soon, here on 89.5 KQAL.
Met you on the street that night. Didn't think my eyes were right. Seen you before, but I don't know when. You seem shy, but you're looking so fly. Sweet glasses shimmer in your eye. Think I'm gonna enjoy meeting you again. I'll show you all of me if you tell me about all of you. Maybe along the way I'll learn what'll make you want to stay. Just hope I don't give my heart away too soon. Days later, time for a date. Showing up fashionably late. Feeling strong and ready to play a song or two. Talking non-stop, that's a good sign. Don't even need that glass of wine. Take you out in the fields where I passionately kiss you. I'm throwing all of me right barely anything from you. Maybe along the way I'll learn what'll make you want to stay. Already feeling I gave too much away too soon. Your tattoo says you love with all your heart and soul, but I had yet to learn why you felt so icy cold. A millimeter wide and a mile deep is a promise that you just can't keep. Please, baby, just kiss me on the cheek, 'cause I know that you won't want to now for another week. Tell me why you flaked over the phone. Seem probably better off alone, rather than waiting for a call that'll never come. Baby, you're undone. Oh, but either way it seems my ignorance still reigns supreme. Maybe along the way I'll protect myself from all this pain, and the bright sunshine will kill this dark and ugly rain. It'll happen one day. Gotta find a way not to give my heart away too soon. We had so much in common, but our wounds became too much. I'm begging for your body so sweet and lush, but I can't be in such a hell of a rush too soon.
That That was the song Too Soon from Ryan Howe's debut album, Origin, here on 89.5 KQAL. What artists have you been inspired by?
There's so many that start with the letter J. It's really, really funny. Jackson Browne, James Taylor, John Mayer, Jacob Collier, Journey, Josh Groban.
Yes.
Those are the first big six that it's a letter J clump. It's just something I've noticed for 20 years. John Mayer particularly was a big inspiration for Too Soon with his song Who Says from his album Battle Studies. Again, John Mayer is one of the people I hold in about the utmost musical reverence that somebody can hold another artist in. John Mayer has a way of taking his emotional frustrations and morphing them into just gorgeous lyrics, in my opinion. Too Soon, like Borderline earlier, was written in the span of about 90 minutes. Both of those songs came out of a state of high emotional frustration. And when the feeling is heightened, it was very, very, very clear and in the forefront of my mind. The lyrics just spilled out of me perfectly. And I hate that because why can't it be that way every time? You know? Why can't it be that way every time? It's funny how, for me, writing lyrics comes about. Lyrics can be a very chaotic thing. They can either come impossibly slowly, like frozen maple syrup dripping on a wintry Minnesota day in January, or they can come in 90 minutes, or somewhere directly in the middle. It's one of those three things, it seems. Too Soon, it's very, very much about the guitar part, which comes from John Mayer inspiration, a bit of James Taylor inspiration as well. But it's just a narrative that is based out of real experience. That one is a true story. So I tried to frame that experience in a way to help me heal from the disappointment, to process it and understand who I was interacting with. It was just it was two people, colliding on a path, and I think the way I'd like to look at that interchange was two people helping each other to be their better selves. By bringing certain things to light. And I think that's what happens in all human relationships. And that's something that I try to convey in my music by getting into the nitty gritty details emotionally and otherwise. But again, just like Down to Earth, Too Soon, humongous background vocal harmonies. And that's where I feel like I'm a male Enya sometimes. We listed Enya as a core influence of mine earlier. Enya, if I need to calm down, that's what I listen to. I wanted Too Soon to have a good mix of that calm, almost symphonic, just thick, lush vocal harmony thing, but with some exciting bits of aux percussion, sort of a lower envelope in the production where there's not a full-on drum beat driving a groove forward. It's a little more subdued. It's a little more of an intimate vibe.
You can hear all of your wonderful musical influences across this, all the songs on this album, because you do kind of dip into several different genres, and I think the influence is very clear. But what's next for you? What's on the horizon? In terms of beyond Origin, there are more original songs being written for sure. There will absolutely be an album number 2, a solo Ryan Howe project. I am working with multiple other bands currently, and I've been a full-time performing musician for 7 years since I graduated from Winona State. I play a lot of solo shows where I'm doing a ton of covers and reharmonizing them, dare I say, Ryanizing them, but I'm also working with, as I said, several other bands. I have a classic rock band called Flashback, which is doing well. We're in the midst of our summer tour right now. Playing a lot of shows around the Tomah, Wisconsin area, in between La Crosse and the Wisconsin Dells. There's another band I'm in called Self-Titled, which at the time this will get on air, we will have played a show opening up for Blue Oyster Cult
at Canterbury Park near the Twin Cities. And earlier in July, we also played right after 38 Special at Vicky's Camp and Country Jam, which was a really, really great opportunity. Self-titled, we are working on some original new songs as well. We do play Old Soul out, but there are some new original songs that are going to be made in that band.
Your music can be found on all major streaming platforms. Do you care plugging all your social medias where people can find you?
I'm at Piano Man Howe on Instagram, which is as you'd expect, PianoManHowe, just like my last name, on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me on Facebook at my Ryan Howe Music Facebook page, or simply facebook.com/PianoManHowe. You can also find my band Flashback on Facebook at Flashback Classic Rock. You can find Self-Titled on Self-Titled Band on Instagram and selftitledband.com. And I'm also developing my personal RyanHoweMusic.com website. That is soon to be up and running.
The last tune we're going to play today is called A Place to Be. And this song is very special to you as it's about the driftless region, and it's in an Emmy Award-winning film that your dad made. Can you tell us a little bit about what this song means to you?
While Old Soul may be the one I have the most fun playing, A Place to Be has the most meaning. To give a little background, there were 2 films that were produced, and now a third is on its way out, soon to be released. They were all produced by my late father, George Howe, who is a local legend in the fields of land conservation, prairie restoration, and environmental education. Where A Place to Be comes in is the second of the 3 driftless films that he produced. The first, Mysteries of the Driftless, came out in 2014, won an Emmy. Decoding the Driftless came out in 2018, won another Emmy, which it still boggles my mind. I'm so proud of him and all the others, Rob Nelson, Jonas Stenstrom, Tim Jacobson, and all Dan Bertal, all the Untamed Science guys who make those films possible. He had the idea to end Decoding the Driftless with my song, A Place to Be. I'd showed this to him, and it had a message of just appreciating the land where I grew up. There's very much a deep intertwining of my family and my music and the land. A Place to Be is a summation of those 3 things. I simply wish to, through that song and any other music that I make, to carry on the legacy that my dad left behind of appreciating nature, being a steward for it, protecting it, conserving it, showing people how to recreate in it and know that they can always return to it.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much. We're going to end with that track we were just talking about. This is A Place to Be from Ryan Howe's debut album, Origin, here on 89.5 KQAL.
Tall grass and flowers. In the daylight, I felt heaven's rain showers. I was younger, I saw those loving spirits play. I was younger, living and breathing and dreaming big. End of the day. End of the day. Miss those thoughts and that carefree old feeling. I'm stuck, and at times I'm breathing. Now I'm older, and I feel a change of pace. Now we're older, and we gotta make this world a place where all can be. Stay true, and they stoke a fire that never dies. Always, always remember to plant your roots there. Find the high and firm ground in the golden sun. Unleash your bright green shoots, yeah, yeah. Now I'm older, and I need to find my space, my place to be. Yeah. Place to be.
Thanks again to Ryan Howe for joining us tonight on The Sound. To hear more from Ryan Howe, look him up on your favorite streaming and social media platforms. For more deep dives into local and regional albums, tune into The Sound every Wednesday night at 6, right here on 89.5 KQAL. You can also listen to past episodes of The Sound with extended interviews and exclusive content on your favorite streaming services. Find links at kqal.org. I'm Annika Bakkum-Ekern, and we've just heard from Ryan Howe on The Sound.
Thanks for listening to The Sound. The Sound is produced by KQAL FM on the campus of Winona State University. Visit us online at kqal.org. Theme music for The Sound provided by Mike Terrell of Fires of Denmark.